What's up, guys? Studfit here. Don't worry, the rundown will be coming in a day or so, but I have a special episode here where we're going to be talking about a tutorial on how to use the All-Cup Ranking Spreadsheet 4.0. And now it actually can help you with ranked as well, which you'll have to be able to watch. First off, feel free to like or subscribe this video. That would help us get in front of as many Mario Kart tourers as possible. But let's jump right in. So if you might remember, about a month ago or so, we did the All-Cup Ranking tutorial video. It was a video that hopefully has been helping you as tours have gone on, but it's over an hour. We have interviews, we have my experience, we have a lot of things going on. So I wanted to dedicate a video onto how to use this spreadsheet that gives you information for future tours. And from that perspective, to be able to help you do better at ranked, do better at All-Cup Ranking. And so from that perspective, you're looking at the final screen. This is going to be hopefully all filled out at the end of the tour. But since right now, just for those who are watching in the future, we are currently in the Paris tour. In fact, it just was released this morning. So I don't actually have a lot of my own data. This is data that I've kind of plugged in just for the sake of being able to explain this to you. But this is the final screen. This is the aesthetically pleasing, beautiful screen that as it's all filled out, you have a wonderful reflection on how well you did in this tour. But then here in about 5-10 minutes, I'm going to be walking you through how to fill out this spreadsheet. Just as you're looking at it though, some things that may not even need explaining, but you have your driver, kart, and glider, as well as also your base points, and then you have your frenzy. Again, so for this case, for this Paris track, I have Pancho Luigi at level 5, this Prancer level 4, Calico Parafoil at level 3. My base points haven't done anything with, 1600. I got a Lucky 7 Coin Frenzy, hypothetically, and then a single Lucky 7 with outside of the Frenzy. I got an action count of 150, which is 94% of what we feel is a maximum score. Again, many people are getting over 100 for those freak accident runs, but for just this sake, it gives you an understanding of what percent of what we consider a max score, which is a double coin box, 2 single boxes, or a triple coin frenzy. So there's many people who get a triple coin frenzy and are able to knock the bots off or be able to do additional actions, repel a blooper, etc. So you could easily get over 100, but for this sake, it's just letting you know to what percentage of 100 you have gotten. And then your total scores that you've gotten, as well as any additional notes that you want to add here, giving you a cup total. And then here's the new piece. This is what you could gain. So this is the difference, the delta between what you've gotten and what we feel like is the max based on your loadout and your maximum action count. So let's talk about that. The prediction is the new part, and so kind of want to talk a little bit about the origin of this spreadsheet, because I have to give some major props to a couple key people that have put this together, that I've been looped in on and excited to be a part of, and have added some little feedback, but really the bulk of the heavy lifting has been behind DKR.exe. He put together this spreadsheet originally to be able to help people to keep track of their All-Cup ranking. Some people were doing it over pieces of paper. Some people were doing it on the notes on their phone. This just gave really the players an organized way to be able to keep track of this. And it since has morphed and evolved. So we'll kind of get into how that has changed. But really this last piece, we have to give some major credit to ER Curtis and ER Benny Ben. They have done a great job of being able to take the math behind the scenes to be able to put together a prediction. Now there are some assumptions, and that is that you're getting a non-stop combo. But really outside of that, the spreadsheet does the math on what you could get. Now I tried this out last tour, and I was aiming between 80 to 90%. For every single track, and there's a couple tracks where I got 105, 106, and those were good. But really, even once I got it to 90%, I consider it a success. I think my average was right there, right around 90%. But I have really good loadouts, so I think I scored in the high teens. We'll find out tomorrow where I placed in the All-Cup ranking. I wasn't going for top 10. It was just fun to I had some good loadouts, and I was having some fun with Tuxedo, or may I say Toilet Paper Mario. So let's jump right in. Now let's talk about data entry. How do I get to that beautiful screen? So kind of walk through the spreadsheet. As always, anytime you have one of these spreadsheets, the first step is make a copy. You don't want to request access. You're gonna get denied. Just make a copy. It's gonna be saved in your Google Drive, and you can always refer to it later. It's definitely the best way to do that. And so let's jump right into the spreadsheet. So you have the courses here. You're not gonna have to make any changes. They're already preset based on the actual cup and the actual tour. Here's where you start adding in information. You add your drivers in here. These are all drop-down lists. Then you put your tier. So most likely you're going to be using tier 3. This is that top tier driver, kart, and glider. You put in the level of that driver and the base points of that driver. Pretty self-explanatory. Same thing with carts. You have the drop-down of the carts. Not pretty pictures, but that's fine. This is just the data entry screen. You're using the top tier carts. You're using it's level 4. Your base points 400. And so this is pretty straightforward, but obviously Rainbow Road 2T, much more track that's been around a little bit longer. I have him, as you know, triple uncapped, level 7. And then you have some, 595 for the double uncapped, 490 for things that are just single capped. Pretty self-explanatory from that perspective. Now let's get into Frenzy. So in this case, hypothetically, and I'll kind of move over so you can see everything. As you know, the course stays set there on your screen, so you don't have to worry about having to scroll left to see what course you're on. Let's get into the Frenzy. So these are drop downs as well. So you can put Lucky 7, you can put Banana, whatever you want to put in. I typically like to put in, in order of what I get them, so I can remember, oh yeah, lap 1, I got this and whatever. And if you want to be able to add notes like, hey, item box 2, I got this, item box 4, I got this, you can put that in your notes. That's perfectly fine. But what's cool is that there's also some great information you can put in this column. This is column R. This would be things like if you, it's actually set to be able to, if you put a number, be the number of single boxes you get. But you can also put in Lucky 7. You can put in 2 Lucky 7. These are for if you get a Lucky 7 that's outside the Frenzy, just a single one. You can also put in, if you got second place, so 2 and D. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can put in there. And then so on this high scores, you can see you got two Lucky 7s, you got second place, or you got no single boxes. But that's under the single box column. Really cool stuff there. Great job. In this case, then we get to actions. And this is so key. What it does, and this is kudos to ER Antilev. He's done a phenomenal job. I had this idea. I came to him. I said, look, I'd love to know what a good action count is for something. During my run at the top 10, which I finished number 11th, still crying and licking my wounds, I found out that if I got a coin box in the air, or maybe got a Frenzy blooper in first, and it wasn't effective, there's no way to tell unless you are keeping track of your action count. So I found out that action counts were key. I could get a double coin box Frenzy, 3 single boxes, but I'm flying all the time, like say Rock Mountain, and it's complete waste. So from that perspective, action count is king, and I realized that was the best way for me to keep track of my score. So what's great here is in this column, you could put 100 and it'll show up as red. You could put 150, it might turn into green, but then maybe you get 120, that's not good. Let's try 130, and we have kind of an orange color. So as you're going through, you're at the end of the week. Honestly, I just tried this for this past tour, and I just was literally going, what's the darkest red? Let me do that track next. And then I moved that to orange, maybe moved it to yellow, maybe moved it to green. And then I just kept moving these reds to orange. Next thing you know, I was in the high teens. I think we'll find out tomorrow, but maybe 16, 17 place in the All Cup ranking. So from that perspective, I was aiming for 90% plus. There's sometimes where I got 80% because I just hated the track. I just kept moving on. But ultimately, this was the key for me. This was and really behind the scenes, everything's based off of this heat map, which Antilev helped put together. Kudos to ER Antilev. But essentially, each one of these ranges are the action count, so the number of actions you're getting on that track in a range type of format through a heat map. And so as you can see, green is good, red is bad. And you can see right off the bat, hey, from looking at Rainbow Road 2 and Rainbow Road 2T, and potentially, what is it, Waluigi Pinball RT, which unfortunately we have again. These are going to be some of the top tracks for me to focus in on because they are some of the highest action count tracks in this tour. So awesome job on Antilev, kudos there. And so this is populating off of that. There's some formulas which you don't need to necessarily know, but ultimately this is the key for me as I was going through. Now here's the new part. You put in the score. So in this case, I put in for pairs, I put in 24,444. Cool looking number there. We feel like based on your and I'll kind of walk through. Actually, let's just go ahead and jump into that now. This is what ER Curtis and ER Benny Ben put together. This is all the math behind the scenes. So you don't have to do anything to this tab. This tab is automatically working. Do not touch this tab, but I'm showing to you because I want to show you how cool it is. From this perspective, it's taking the base points, which is pulling from that other tab. It's actually, we have in here the number of jump boosts, the number of dash panels based on another tab. And so, again, the mini turbos will fluctuate, but we just feel like, based on, I think, some data that Tabor had gotten and some other people, we had gotten some number of, really the mini turbos and slipstreams are going to be the only things, kart skills that are going to fluctuate from, hopefully you're getting every jump, hopefully you're getting every dash panel, but that's going to be reflected in your action count. So don't worry about that. If you disagree with these numbers, that's what the action count's about. Not every action count's worth the same. You already know that, but just try to get as many as possible and try to increase that action count. And so from that perspective, we have in here how many dash panels are on this track. We know how many jump boosts are available on this track. And so from that perspective, it takes that into consideration. And then also, and so you can see up here in the math, there's some crazy math up here, some data entry. You may not be able to see on this video, but ultimately it gives you some really good information. If you are curious about anything, you can feel free to hover. It gives you, in this case, there's a base points of 5 for this, and there's different multipliers based on the skill of your carts, etc. And then it takes into consideration your action, your kart skill, the combo, the bonus points. It's a lot of data. So kudos, huge kudos. I love giving kudos, but this one's especially dear to my heart, which is to Curtis and also to Benny Ben. You guys did a great job. So let's go back to the data entry screen. So based on your loadout, it's already doing the math in the background, and it's letting you know that estimated wise, this is a top score. So in this case, for based on my loadout, a 26,000 score is going to be a good score. Now I got 24,000. That means the difference there is it's about 1,640 between what I got and what is a maximum score, which again for our case is a triple coin frenzy, just to keep things simple. Now if you have, let's say in this case, a lucky 7 at a level 4, the driver, like in this case Luigi Painter at level 4 or more, you might be able to get more actions from a lucky 7 frenzy than a coin frenzy. So in that case, it could be even easier to be able to, of course, getting a lucky 7 double coin is going to be tough. But from that perspective, that is possible, and that's going to be able to give you that information and let you know, hey, maybe things could improve here. Maybe if you got a lucky 7 coin, you could be able, or maybe you just had, based on being behind, had to maybe take a shortcut and skip a couple. That's going to obviously be impacted on your action count. So this gives you all that estimate. But the main goal is that as you're putting in scores, so in this case, let's say 30,000 here, it's going to show in red. It's going to say I'm 13,000 away from this. And let's say I improve it to 40,000 points. It's going to let me know I'm 3,000 away. So really, as you're for ranked, maybe you see I got kind of a darker green, more of a lime green, and a red. I should be focusing on the red track. So that's why it is helpful for ranked. That's why it's also helpful as we have 12 cups for those people who are doing all cup ranking. It's helpful to you as well. So I think really any player should be using this spreadsheet. It's going to help you with ranked, and I think honestly that's going to be key. So, let's kind of go ahead and start plugging some things in here. So for this case, for Rock Mountain, which I'll kind of use that as an example because it's a fun course we finally have back after so many tours of not being here. I have him obviously at level 7. I triple uncapped him to 975, off-roader level 7, 595, cloud glider. And all right, so let's go ahead and in this case, let's say I got a giant banana. So I scroll down here, giant banana, and let's just say I got a coin. I don't know if there's a single banana, but we can always take a guess. But let's say we got second place. In this case, let's say for estimation, let's just go with 180 action count. Looks fun. That's a good score. Let's do 170 just to kind of show something there. And then in this case, we got 40,000. So any notes I want to add, I can add that there. But then the goal is that I'm going to high score here, and I can see on Rock Mountain, I can see quickly what I got. I can also see I was 92%. So if I'm at the end of my L Cup ranking, if I'm deciding between Paris or Rock Mountain, I might want to focus in on Rock Mountain. I can see I can find 3,000 there. So that's cool to be able to see versus for Paris, I only have 1,000 to be able to take a look at. So every 1,000 counts, and when you're down by 10,000, you don't want to be focusing in on some of these shorter tracks or these tracks without as many item boxes, etc. You want to be able to get as many as possible. So there you go. This is the data entry screen. We talked about the heat map. We talked about the score estimation. And now we talked about the high score images. So that's it, guys. It's a short video. Rarely are you used to videos shorter than an hour. This is a 16, 17-minute video. But go ahead. The link to this spreadsheet is in the description. I hope this helps you out for All Cup ranking, for ranked. Good luck, guys. And until the rundown, have a great start to your Paris tour.